So here we have a video posted by someone who obviously the reason why they got a hold of this material or why they thought that this was proper to release, yeah, I'm calling them part of the problem. Well, they like to laugh at how much they can reveal and still get away with it, right? Well, I want everybody to record this interview with your cell phones, however you can record it, and repost it. Everybody, tell your friends they need to record it and repost it. Because the conclusion drawn by this particular poster is wrong. Okay? The way to fix the problem is awareness. The way to fight lies is with truth. Russia wants us to go demand everybody's resignation and clean house at the White House and Congress, okay? We can't do that. But we can spread the truth. Alright, now as soon as I get this lined up properly.
Our conversation is with Mr. Yuri Alexandrovich Bezmenov. Mr. Bezmenov was born in 1939 in a suburb of Moscow. He was the son of a high-ranking Soviet Army officer. He was educated in the elite schools inside the Soviet Union and became an expert in Indian culture and Indian languages. He had an outstanding career with Novosti, which was and still is, I should say, the press arm or the press agency of the Soviet Union. It turns out that this is also a front for the KGB. He escaped to the West in 1970 after becoming totally disgusted with the Soviet system, and he did this at great risk to his life. He certainly is one of the world's outstanding experts on the subject of Soviet propaganda and disinformation and active measures. When the Soviets use the phrase ideological subversion, what do they mean by it?
Ideological subversion is the process which is legitimate, overt, and open. You can see it with your own eyes. All you have to do, all American mass media has to do, is to unplug their bananas from their ears, open up their eyes, and they can see it. There's no mystery. There's nothing to do with espionage. I know that espionage intelligence gathering looks more romantic. It sells more deodorants through the advertising, probably. That's why your Hollywood producers are so crazy about James Bond type of thrillers. But in reality, the main emphasis of the KGB is not in the area of intelligence at all. According to my opinion and opinion of many defectors of my caliber, only about 15% of time, money, and manpower is spent on espionage as such. The other 85% is a slow process which we call either ideological subversion or active measures, активные мероприятия in the language of the KGB, or psychological warfare. What it basically means is to change the perception of reality of every American to such an extent that despite of the abundance of information, no one is able to come to sensible conclusions in the interests of defending themselves, their families, their community, and their country. It's a great brainwashing process which goes very slow, and it's divided in four basic stages. The first one being demoralization. It takes from 15 to 20 years to demoralize a nation. Why that many years? Because this is the minimum number of years which requires to educate one generation of students in the country of your enemy, exposed to the ideology of the enemy. In other words, Marxism-Leninism ideology is being pumped into the soft heads of at least 3 generations of American students without being challenged or counterbalanced by the basic values of Americanism, American patriotism. The demoralization process in the United States is basically completed already. For the last 25...
Notice how this user didn't want you to hear the part of the interview that teaches us how to properly counteract it. Patriotism, Christianity, the knowledge of Christians that you should accept people, the knowledge of Christians that atheists will be guided by your example and not by silly arguments, and the knowledge of atheists that Christians are your friends and your protectors, not your enemies. For at least 1,000 years, atheists have had their lives saved by Christians. Most of them in shiny, shiny armor. But anyway.
Years. Actually, it's overfulfilled because demoralization now reaches such areas where previously not even Comrade Andropov and all his experts would even dream of such a tremendous success. Most of it is done by Americans to Americans, thanks to lack of moral standards. As I mentioned before, exposure to true information does not matter anymore. A person who was demoralized is unable to assess true information. The facts tell nothing to him. Even if I shower him with information, with authentic proof, with documents, with pictures, even if I take him by force to the Soviet Union and show him concentration camp, he will refuse to believe it until he is going to receive a kick in his fat bottom. When a military boot crashes then he will understand, but not before that. That's the tragic of the situation of demoralization. So the next stage is destabilization. This time, subverter does not care about your ideas and the patterns of your consumption. Whether you eat junk food and get fat and flabby, it doesn't matter anymore. This time, and it takes only from 2 to 5 years to destabilize a nation. It's what
late
matters
90s.
is essentials: economy, foreign relations, defense systems. And you can see it quite clearly that in some areas, in such sensitive areas as defense and economy, the influence of Marxist-Leninist ideas in the United States is absolutely fantastic. I could never believe it 14 years ago when I landed in this part of the world that the process will go that fast. The next stage, of course, is crisis. It may take only up to 6 weeks to bring a country to the verge of crisis. You can see it in Central America now. And after crisis, with a violent change of power, structure, and economy, you have so-called the period of normalization. It may last indefinitely. Normalization is a cynical expression borrowed from Soviet propaganda. When the Soviet tanks moved into Czechoslovakia in '68, Comrade Brezhnev said, "Now the situation in brotherly Czechoslovakia is normalized." This is what will happen in the United States if you allow all these schmucks to bring the country to crisis, to promise people all kind of goodies and the paradise on earth, to destabilize your economy, to eliminate the principle of free market competition, and to put a big brother government in Washington, D.C., with benevolent dictators like Walter Mondale, who will promise lots of things, never mind whether the promises are fulfillable or not. Your leftists in United States, all these professors and all these beautiful civil rights defenders, they are instrumental in the process of the subversion only to destabilize the nation. When their job is completed, they are not needed anymore. They know too much. Some of them, when they get disillusioned, when they see that Marxist-Leninists come to power, obviously they get offended. They think that they will come to power. That will never happen, of course. They will be lined up against the wall and shot. But they may turn into the most bitter enemies of Marxist-Leninists when they come to power. And that's what happened in Nicaragua. You remember most of these former Marxist-Leninists were either put to prison or one of them split and now he's working against Sandinistas. It happened in Grenada when Maurice Bishop was already a Marxist. He was executed by a new Marxist who was more Marxist than this Marxist. Same happened in Afghanistan when first there was Taraki, he was killed by Amin, then Amin was killed by Babrak Karmal with the help of KGB. Same happened in Bangladesh when Mujibur Rahman, very pro-Soviet leftist, was assassinated by his own Marxist-Leninist military comrades. It's the same pattern everywhere. It's divided in 4 basic stages: demoralization, destabilization, crisis, normalization. They will be lined up against the wall and shot.
Alright, so basically, what this guy is about to suggest is that the people be lined up against the wall and shot. Okay? He's going to tell you that we need to get Obama out of the White House, get the Congress out, get the Big Brother out, that the Big Brother part is the problem. See, he's revealing a lot because he's taking joy in it. All right? And the person who's clipping this video to shit isn't showing you the full story. He's taking joy in it because he knows it's going to work. And he's actually talking to a conservative plant. Okay? They take joy in how much they can reveal, and still you can't do anything. Oh. You cannot stand against Mother Russia. Alright? Now, if you spread the truth, if you copy that section of that video with your cell phone camera and send it to everyone you know, to your congressman if you can, if anybody, just get as many people to watch that as you can. But tell them that it happened already during the Bush administration, okay? The Bush administration began and ended with crisis. But see, what the Satanists who control the Russian people as slaves did not see coming was a little thing called the public-private investment program. And they probably didn't think anybody would have listened. But there was a little thing that I like to call the Pelosi leverage during the last years of the Bush administration. Okay? And some serious investigations were going on behind the scenes. And the nation was saved from this tyranny from the inside. All right? And that's largely to do with Freemasons. And that's why this fake conservative psychoness has been spread since Obama took office. Okay? It's trying to make you think, even though America saved itself, that it didn't. They're trying to repeat the process all over again. Okay? And it's really obvious. Especially when the solution that this guy's proposing, just like Alex Jones, just like RT, need to get rid of them. Why? So they can fucking replace them with even more fucking KGB spies? No! We need to spread awareness. We need to refute these people that say Obama is the Antichrist. Period. He's our president. Shame on you for being a traitor. But this very, very clever offensive of targeting Freemasons with information that they can't refute by revealing truth that they were supposed to wait on me to reveal. It's pretty obvious. And if you believe me when I say I emailed the plan for the public-private investment program, the PPIP, to Barack Obama's MySpace page, and that was back when he was reading my shit within 3 to 5 minutes of me sending it and inserting my rhetoric into his speeches. And I know that sounds a bit grandiose, but it's fucking true. I was very moved by it, actually. Like, he just quoted me, oh my god. You know, like, I really wanted him to be like, oh my god, a black president, can we finally, like, move on? Please, can we finally move on? Not if Rupert Murdoch has anything to say about it. Not if Vladimir Putin has anything to say about it. So, attention, so-called conservatives, stop being Putler's bitch. Like, subscribe. And if you didn't, get your cell phone out to take that video right there. You need to either find it or back this up and please don't share my hair. Please. There you go. How's that? Oh, wow. Okay, yeah, not doing that again. Yeah, I'm still going to upload this. Like, subscribe, take the video of the thing with that guy. Okay? That guy right there. Everybody needs to know what he just said. Peace.